Hello all, Jamie Rodgers here from Craftmania, and today I'm back with a big bundle to tempt you with. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since we've brought you one of our videos, so not only do we have a big bundle, and I mean a really big bundle, we also have for you a little bundle of embossing folders, a huge saving. We also have some special offers on our eleganza gems and our glitter bits, and I'll try and take you through all of that on today's video. I also have 13 cards to share with you to give you a bit of inspiration on how you can bring together our big bundle, our embossing folders, our glitter bits, and of course our gems to create some lovely projects. Now, if you're new to our videos and you're new to our YouTube channel or the social media platform that you're watching this on, please make sure that you click subscribe on YouTube, tap that bell to be notified of our future videos. And if you're watching, as I say, on one of our Facebook pages, for instance, please make sure that you've liked it and clicked follow on there too, so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Now, if you're new to shopping with us here at Craftmania, you might not know this, but if you spend over £5, your P&P is completely free in the UK. And if you wish to shop with us internationally, that's no problem either. Your P&P is capped at just £10. If you'd like to know more about our shipping and handling costs, pop onto the website and have a little look under the customer service tab, where it will explain how our UK and international shipping works. Now, the website in question is www.craftmaniacrafts.com, and if you'd like to get any of the goodies that I'm going to share with you from today's video, then pop on there and have a little look for the YouTube tab. Click that and it will take you through to the video section, and you'll be able to find the relevant page for the video you're watching. Today we are looking at an Art Deco bundle. So it will be your Art Deco bundle video is the tab you wish to click. And if you go through to there, not only will the Art Deco bundle be in there, keep giving little cheeky flashes there, don't I? Not only will the Art Deco bundle be in there, so will the embossing folders, so will the glitter bits, and so will the eleganza gems. So lots and lots to tempt you with if you head onto the website and have a little look under the YouTube section. So then, our bundle today, you've had a little flash of it. I've told you it's Art Deco. It is, in fact, a giant Art Deco bundle. Now, today's bundle features 11 dies, and this is the second Art Deco collection released by Sue Wilson. And to me, I think this bundle is absolutely brilliant, because not only have you got the background panels, you've got the wording, you've got the focal points, such as our lovely lady taking the little doggy here for a walk. And I feel they're the bits you need to sort of accentuate your Art Deco themes and really complete your projects. Now, the first collection that come out, none of that features in this bundle. But again, if you head onto the website, you look onto that little YouTube tab, find the video for today's, or the little shopping page for today's video, you will find all of the first release in there as well. So if you do head on there and see some Art Deco dies I've not shared with you in today's video, they are from the first collection. They are also 15% off and a bundle deal too. So you might wish to have a little look at that collection as well, especially if you really fall in love with this one. Or of course, you can cherry pick between this collection and that collection, and all of the items have 15% off, and you can build your own bundle. So let's have a little look through this one. Bearing in mind, huge saving on buying the bundles as a bundle. So the first die that we're going to look at is our Elegant Stroll. Now this one is great because, as you can see, we've got a lovely Art Deco lady taking her little dog for a walk. And as I mentioned, when we get onto the larger parts of this collection, to me this is a grand one to actually sort of build forward your design and give you a focal point. Now I will take you through the dies in more detail when we go overhead, and I'll also show you the cards I've made with them. But just as a little quick flick through, we then also have our sort of transport collection, giving us the Art Deco car and that lovely plane and banner. Now that banner is great for just adding little mini sentiments in places, as well as giving different focal points and sort of elevating your card in the fact that you can put more at the top of the card. Sometimes we've got them gaps, haven't we? And that sort of plane fills in that area up there. The car is also great for grounding your sort of frames and bits and bringing them slightly lower, but I'll explain more of that when we look through the card shortly. We then have your flower dies. Now don't be fooled, this doesn't just have to be for Art Deco. This is such a beautiful flower. There are 14 dies in here, and as you can see, you've got everything from your flowers all the way through to your petals and even your little finishing touches to go with them. Now this set to me is beautiful, and one I think you're going to see a lot more of from me on my different projects that I share with you on my Facebook pages and future videos. Then we go on to this one. Now this one I refer to, I don't know the official name, what is it? Fantail Rosette. I keep calling this the fantail frame. So I was halfway there. But this one again, great design, 2 dies in this one, giving you the ability to do a backing plate and a front plate to it, as well as sort of delicate cutting part. Then we have for you the sort of sentiment bubbles as such, or labels. Now these again are great because they're quite a large size. So when we look at items like the car, you could actually put the car on the front of here, and I'll show you that again when we get onto the sample shortly. But lovely, generous size labels. Also good for journaling if you're doing scrapbooking, or maybe putting in the insert of your card if you want to tie in the Art Deco theme from the outside to the inside. We then have your skylines background. Now this is one big die, this incredible skyscraper style Art Deco building that's absolutely beautiful and a true focal point to any project. One die is going to cut in and stay in your card, so you can trim it out if you wish to, or use one of your sort of nesting dies with it, but actually it's just an incredible panel and really, really beautiful when cut. We then have for you the diamond radiance background. Now this again is a great one because of course we can use it portrait or landscape, whatever way we wish to, and the car comes out of that diamond brilliantly, and of course you can turn it either way to put the car sort of in each direction that you'd like to. The separate frame around the edge has a real stained glass style to it as well, which I think is really handy to use all throughout the year. And saying that, actually, the whole frame, you know, you could really dress this up. I know Christmas is not far off of our lips, is it? We're going to be talking Christmas a lot more in the coming weeks. And of course, this would make a really lovely background sort of frame to go with Christmas ideas. We then have for you the dazzling diamonds frame. Now this one again, beautiful to work with, could easily be multi-cut. There's 5 dies in this set, and I'll take you through all the different layers with that one shortly. I told you this was a big bundle, didn't I? Normally this little sort of segment at the beginning is quite a quick video. So much to get through, I apologise. Then we have for you the elegant frame. Now this one again, 2 dies in here, great for using landscape or portrait, whatever way you wish to. Great for putting our sort of strolling lady with the dog in there, or of course the car, or of course turn it that way and have the plane going through the middle of it. So much we can do with that. And then finishing off our bundle, bringing up our 10th and 11th dies, we have Just Because, and then of course for Have a Roaring Good Time, which are our 2 sentiments that go with this collection, which just complete out that sort of huge bundle. So as you see, 11 different components, giving you so many options, so many ways to dress these up, whether we're going for the focal points of the frames, whether we're going for the flowers, whether we're going for that lovely sort of lady in the sort of dog taking the stroll there. All of this, and you can see why I'm struggling to even hold it. This should be £122.89. So as I mentioned earlier, probably our biggest bundle we've bought for you yet. But of course, the bigger the bundle, the higher the saving. So with this one, it is reduced to just £97.99, so under £100. Now I know that's a considerable purchase, and it might be the good point to sort of mention here that we do of course offer our PayPal payment system, which means you can pay in free, I believe, and we also have ClearPay payments too, which again you can set how you wish to pay it off. So maybe you wish to pay in installments, you of course don't have to, you can of course pay by debit, credit card, or using one of them features to pay outright if you prefer, but it's just sometimes nice to know we can spread those costs a little bit, isn't it? Now your bundle, as I said, £97.99 is going to bring you all of these 11 sort of dies to play with. You of course are going to receive free U.K P&P if you wish to go for the complete bundle, or of course if you wish to have that sent to you anywhere in the world, your P&P will be capped at just £10. Now I will take you through those in more detail in just a moment. We'll look through the dies, we'll look through the cards as well, but I did mention we have a couple of other bits to show you as well. So our first one is our embossing folders. Now these are 3D embossing folders. These are free Art Deco designs and free that I have featured on my product or projects. So I've put them together for you in one bundle so that you can get them easily. And of course, once again, with a slightly larger saving because it is a bundle pack. So you can buy them individually if you wish to, and of course they have 15% off individually. But if you wish to buy the whole bundle, the actual price for this should be £23.97, but your offer price is just £18.99. So again, bit of a saving there for you if you'd like to go for these. And the free designs in this one are the interlocking squares, to which you can see is a grand design, especially if you want to pop a little pearl or a little gem in the middle of each of those cross hatches. That'd be good fun. You have the Art Deco Rhapsody background, which again, great for working with all of these dies, of course. And then you've got the Art Deco arches, giving you, of course, the sort of traditional arched Art Deco background you would expect. Now these are 3D folders, so they're very deep impressions. They're great to work with if you wish to do your letter pressing techniques or taking inks over the top of them. Of course, once you've embossed them, if you wish to take over your embossing and then do the grouting technique on the background with your texture base, you can certainly give that a whirl too. So lots and lots of ways that you could dress those up and play with them. So as I mentioned, if you'd like to get all 3 of these, you can add them to your basket for just $18.99. And of course, once again, maybe you just want to go for these, you're going to get that free UK P&P or capped international payment of just £10 for your postage. Then moving on from there, we have got our glitter bits. Now I'll talk to you more about these shortly, but these have all got 15% off of them, and there's lots of colours to choose from. You might like to have a little look through those. And sticking with our 15% off tradition, all of our eleganza gems, and this is just a fraction of them. This is honestly just a small amount of them. All of these also have 15% off, and I'll take you through these on the overhead so you can see them in a bit more detail, but they're going to feature on a lot of our projects too. So you've got glitter offers, you've got gem offers, you've got embossing folders offers, and you've got your main bundle. So lots and lots to choose from this week. So let's delve in and have a little look through them in even more detail. So let's start off by having a little look from our gems, shall we? So these are just a small selection of the gems I wanted to share with you. Now the whole eleganza collection has got 15% off, so you might wish to really stock up on these while we're having a little look at them. But these are great. So the first one we're looking at here is our flower and pearl borders. Now these are joined on one sticky line, so you can literally lift that off and use it to create borders. If you wish to, you can snip them apart and use them individually, but they're really beautiful to play with. Now this one is our lovely diamonds in our squares here, and then we've got these brilliant little pearls breaking those up. Now to me this is the ultimate Art Deco sort of stick-on border, and again you can sort of snip it apart if you wish to. You can use them to build up frames if you prefer, but they're just great for Art Deco. We then have for you a selection of our line pearls. Now these are grand because they are all one line, but again can be snipped to be used individually, and they come in different sizes and they also come in different colours. So you can possibly see here a selection of 3mm, 4mm, there is also a larger size, and then colour wise you've got gold, you've got white, you've got ivory, there's a pink and a blue, there's a silver, so quite a lot of options with these two, but they make great frames, or once again easy to snip apart and use individually if you wish to, but great border elements, and again go perfectly with the Art Deco feel. We also have for you our glitter gems. Now again, these come in a variety of sizes and a huge collection of colours, but these are like encapsulated glitter inside like a plasticky sort of gem, and I just find that they're really lovely. They look like they're sort of diamond encrusted because that glitter really sparkles. And as I said, you've got the 2 different sizes and they both come in the same colour as you can see here, so you can tie those through your projects. But there's lots of colours of those to choose from, and they are of course individual, so you can just peel them off and use them separately. We then have for you one that I really wanted to bring you today. These are our lovely pearl and gem flowers. Now as you can see, you're going to get 8 of these on each pack, and they of course come off individually to be used as you see them, and I just think they're really, really pretty. We then have for you individual pearls, and with our pearls, these come in white and cream, and they also have different sizes in their packs. You'll often see me use these. These are something I use virtually every day I'm crafting, because I love having that different sizing going on, but yet keeping the same finish, same quality, same style. So something else I genuinely rely on an awful lot. Speaking of things I rely on a lot, these are our sun gems. These also come in white and cream, and I always use these as the middles of my flowers. Today we're going to be using more of the silver ones on our samples, so I've hooked these ones out to share with you, but it just gives you an idea of a small amount of the eleganza gems that we have available for you, and they all, as I mentioned, have 15% off their recommended retail prices, so you might want to stock up on them. They're one of them things that we go to time after time, aren't they? And they're just a true essential, so do check those out. Now we did mention the Glitter Bits glitters, didn't we? Now I've just hooked out a few colours here. These are ones that you're going to see featured on my projects, but if you've not seen Glitter Bits glitter before, where have you been? Because this is incredible. This is a cosmic shimmer product, and in here we have, I think it's 3 different size particles of glitter. So when we actually use these on our projects, the light hits them, like you can see on, hopefully on your screens, at all different places, and gives you that most glitzy, glamoury style to them. So of course the golds, the silvers, the blacks, great for Art Deco, but I've actually also brought in the blues too. And this is the periwinkle, the vintage violet, the midnight sparkle, and the golden sand. These are the ones you're going to see featured through my projects. But to be honest, there's a whole host of colours, and they're all 15% off at the moment. We then have for you the embossing folders. Now, I just wanted to share these with you so you can possibly see that pattern slightly better. You've got your Art Deco arches here, great for just adding in a gem, colouring with inks, using your brayers over the top of that one. We've also got the Art Deco Rhapsody, and then finally we've got the interlocking squares. Now that little bundle was just $18.99 to bring all three of those to you. Or of course you can purchase them individually, and you will of course see these featured through the cards I'm about to share with you. Then moving on, let's start looking actually at our dies, shall we? So we're going to start off with our travelling style. Now I've done a card for each one of these, but you're going to see several different pieces feature on them as we go through them. So our first one, for instance, as you may be able to see already, is featuring that lovely embossing folder in the background. That's the Art Deco Rhapsody one. We've then got our beautiful frame on here, which is from the dancing diamond background, and then we have the car coming through the centre of it. You'll also notice the little pearls I've added going around the sides. Now with our car, something to note is as this one cuts, it will also emboss details for you. So you may be able to see the bumper, for instance, all of the grille, the details on the tyres. It will cut the windows through for you. So it's going to give you a really cool detailed car. You've then got your plane and your banner. These are two separate, so just bringing in the plane, for instance, that is your separate plane. You've then got your separate banner that you can, of course, stamp on or add a die cut to, whatever you wish to add to that one. But 3 dies in that set, bringing together that lovely sort of transport feel. We then have for you our elegant stroll. Now this again, 1 die, giving you all of that in one piece, so just one pass through your machine, it's going to cut, and again you're going to deboss into it the detail that you find on her dress, on her hat, her face, her gloves, lots of little details there for you as well, which is just going to really elevate your die cut. Now when we bring in some cards, I've actually got 2 to share with you on this one. The first one here is using the Art Deco Rhapsody in the background, the embossing folder, and then on the front here we can see our lovely lady taking her stroll. You'll also notice the flowers coming in here. Now the flower, I love this, and we'll talk more about it and I'll show you how shortly, but you've got backing plates and front plates. So I've cut the top one in silver mirror and I've used vellum to go underneath my flower to give us that sort of really frosted look. You'll also notice, of course, our eleganza gems coming into play again in the background here, which just really gives us a focal point to build up onto with that card. For our second card, we're going to bring in another one, this time using that flower. So you can see our flowers come into play here. Again, cut in vellum, which I really love because it just shows how you don't have to use the filigree topping if you don't wish to. And we've also got them beautiful leaves that come with it. We've then got our elegant lady just down the front here. I've coloured her in with alcohol markers. I will be honest, because I like honesty. I picked up the wrong colour pink for her arms to the rest of her body. So she's got a slight tan going on there. But, you know, that's just one of them things that happens. Well, it does in my house anyway. We've then got our lovely, elegant fanfare frame, this sort of shell style frame coming in. And again, you're going to notice I've used pearls around the frame, I've used our glitter gems in the middle of our flower, and I've used our lines going down the sides here of our pearls to really set that frame off and give you an elegant look to it. Just teamed with some red, gold and ivory cardstock to really make that image pop. Then moving on from there, let's have a little look at our next die set. So let's go for the flowers. Let's show you this one. So your flower set has 14 dies. You're seeing this feature quite a lot already. Let's bring one of these in to share with you. So I've actually used just a piece of masking tape over the back of mine to hold the insert to the outside. Now this is great because it's just like the flowers I shared with you. It means we could cut this part out of self-adhesive sheets, for instance, mirror cards, different colour cards. Then we can nest back inside our filigree panel, cut that again, and then we can layer the two to create some really unique effects. It also means you can take this one and just cut this into your cardstock and it will stay there. So if you'd like to do loads of these all over your card and make up some really filigree panels, that's going to look really nice as well. Of course, it also means we can use this one to cut out apertures and then sink this one underneath if we want to too. So many options in how you're going to be able to use that flower just because Sue's given you that outside edge and that filigree panel as separates. And you don't just receive that in one size, as you can see on the packaging, you actually receive that in 3 sizes. You also get your leaves in quite a few different ways too. I've gone mostly for using the sort of branch as such with a trio of leaves on here, but there are also in the set, as you can see on the packaging, different individual leaves, and each one of these is going to deboss for you to give you a really lovely pattern as well. So a true essential set in my opinion. You know I love my flower dies. This is something I'm going to be using time and time again. And when we bring in a card to share that one with you, this is the card I wanted to share. Now again, you're going to notice the little banner from the plane, and I do this quite a lot through the cards. This I've just stamped on with a little sentiment. I'll put that stamp for you on the same page so you can see that on the website. The flowers this time cut in gold mirror. The background colour is cut from coconut ivory, and then I've just put the two together. Coconut white, sorry, not coconut ivory. The amount of times I've said that and I've got it wrong. So yeah, your coconut white cardstock, and then you're going to put the flowers again in the coconut white. Doing it lots now, aren't I? Coconut white, and then you've also got the same for your frames here. Now the frames are two different frames layered together. We've got the dazzling diamond frame, and we have got our lovely where's the other one gone? Diamond Radiance frame. So just showing you how you can layer them two together if you wish to. I really like this card for the simple fact it was just two colours, our coconut white and our gold, coming together to give quite an elegant effect. And I also liked stacking the different pieces and using this frame again. You know, I only used the outside part of it here, but I think we could see how we could be using that all throughout the year for different occasions. So that's our flower. Let's move on next to our wording. So just because it is one die, as you see before, you've just got that one panel it's going to cut out for you and give you that beautiful sort of debossed letters effect as well on some of those. And then we have got for you have a roaring good time as your second embellishment word, which again I think is just a really lovely one. I could also see me using this in scrapbooking as well, and I think that could be a really nice finishing touch for pages and journaling as well as other projects. Then bringing in our fantail rosette. Now this one, I love this one, and it's got a bit of a trick to this. We've got our fantail rosette with two dies in here, and I can show you these here. You've got this one, and this does actually have an outside blade to it, so it does cut out on its own. I know normally when I bring in dies and I say to you, oh, you've got a separate edge, it usually means we have to nest the two together to cut them out. Not with this one. This one will cut its own backing panel. This one will cut around the edge of it. It will cut all of the filigree in one piece. So we'll have that as one panel and that as a separate. And just in case that isn't quite clear, let me bring this card in, because you can see here I've cut the coconut white one, which is this panel, and then I've cut the silver one out of this one. I've then also cut the same panel again out of black card, trimmed it, and stuck those fan pieces just slightly up and down to come out underneath, just to give a sort of drop shadow effect. The panel that falls out of the middle here, I've also cut in black and put back into the centre to tie in them black edges. But I just felt that was a really fun, interesting panel that could be dressed up in so many ways. Added into the background of this one, you're also going to see that lovely Art Deco arches embossing folder. You'll also see our silver glitter gems in the middle of those. You've got our sun gems in the middle of our flower, and you've got that banner coming in once again, just with a little stamped element on there. Then moving on to another card, giving you a different idea of this one. This is the same panel, but actually what you might be able to see, even if I just use these two pieces, is if you cut the panels twice or the backing ones twice and overset them or overlay them, you can actually create this really cool circle fan style, which is exactly what I've done. So I've used this part cut from coconut white, this part cut from mirror card, stuck that onto that one, repeated it, and then twisted it and stuck them together. I've then brought in our lovely elegant stroll lady, and I've placed her on here, remembering to pick up the right colour pens to colour her in this time. I've also used our gold gems around the edges, and I've just added a bit of a ribbon onto here as well. For the cardstock, I've coloured the edges of these layers with the same alcohol marker as I coloured in my lovely lady, so it all matched and went together nicely, just to give you a slightly different idea. Then if we move on to our next one is our elegant fanfare. So let's take this one out of the way for the second and bring in this one. So this is our elegant fanfare. So two dies in this set. And once again, we have got that separate outside edge, and we have got our filigree panel. Now this time you will need, if you want to cut this out as a separate panel, to nest that one into this one to cut that one out. But Sue, as always, has given you those options to cut your backing plates to go underneath them by giving you this as a separate die. So if you nest them together, cut out the frame, and then cut this from a separate panel, or colour and put that underneath it, you're going to have a different colour shine through. Not only, of course, in the centre, but also in the middles of all of these lovely fan pieces from around the edges. So your elegant fanfare, when brought together, can create some beautiful effects, such as this card here. So this time I've cut from coconut white using the outside edge, added little pearls around to decorate it, and then I've actually shaped this one by bringing it up, gluing it onto the same coconut white backing panel, but lifting these pieces just to give a bit of dimension. In the background, you're also going to see the interlocking squares embossing folder used, and once again we're bringing in that flower as well as our have a roaring good time sentiment. Then moving on to our next one, this one is our Dazzling Diamonds. Now this set actually has 5 dies in here, so many options to play with. So anytime you see that sort of number on a Sue Wilson die, it really means you're going to have an awful lot of options. So what we have here is an outside edge. We then have our filigree panel as such. So again, no outside edge to this one, no inside edge to this, but instead separates. So if you wish to, you can use those together with that panel to cut that out as a sort of central frame. You can of course just use that part to cut a backing plate to put underneath this one if you wish to. You could cut this into your cardstock and leave it there, or again you could use that square in the middle to cut that open as a little frame and actually sink a picture or something in there, or possibly even hang that little embellishment from it. On top of that, you've then got these 2 pieces giving you even more options. So you might choose to leave out this panel and cut that one into there and have a more elegant detailed panel. You might wish to add in the sort of rounded corner circle and cut that out as well. I also feel this would make a really lovely decoration to go on the top of a box. I love making boxes, and I could see you could very easily make like a little square box and then add this on the top and the bottom to really bring in that Art Deco feel to your box creations. So 5 dies, loads of ways we can use them, lots and lots of options. I just went for quite a simple one for this card. So I've cut out the main filigree panel in black card with the outside edge. I've used some coconut white for the middle panel with the edge, and then I've cut a silver panel to go underneath it. I've also used the interlocking squares embossing folder in the background with the glittery gems, and then again for our flower, silver mirror card cut and layered onto vellum petal cuts, and then again coconut white for the leaves. Don't forget that little banner. I love this little banner. It keeps sneaking in. I just found when I'd got a panel like this, I didn't want a big word to go on here. I just wanted something quite subtle, but I wanted it to stay within that Art Deco feel. So this made the perfect little tag or panel to stamp onto and place into my project, just to add that little sentiment where needed. Moving on to our next one, we have got for you the Diamond Radiance background. Now this one again, a bit like the last one, 5 dies. So once again, without going through all of your possible options, I'll just lay these out for you, but it shows how many possible options you have got between all of these pieces, whether you wish to cut them into your cardstock or cut them out of your cardstock, cut them as frames, cut out the middles of them, or leave them as solid panels. The choice is yours. But basically, in short, your 2 filigree panels do not have blades around the edges or the inserts. These are all your separate pieces. So it's down to you where you wish to cut them and layer them, or cut into them, or actually just leave them in your card. So again, loads and loads of options for those. Genuinely, I don't even want to try and calculate how many possibilities you could be creating with a die like that. When we go onto our card, just very simple card this time, I've just cut it out of white, I've stuck it onto a self-adhesive sheet, and I've used our glitter bits to go over the top of it in periwinkle. This is one of my favourite colours of our glitter bits, and it just gives that most incredible sparkle. I've then used the diamond to cut out and stamp on a little sentiment, and brought in the car to finish that off. I've also used some of our ribbon, and I'll put this again on the same page so you can see it. This is one of my ribbons that I go to time after time, and again is available in quite a few colours. We then have for you the Skylines background. Now this die is brilliant because, as I mentioned earlier, it's one panel, it's going to cut out for you, it's going to create that beautiful effect, and then if you wish to, you can trim it down, you can put it inside a nesting die and trim it out of your cardstock, or you can literally leave this in as the front of your card. The option is yours. Now I wanted to try something slightly different, so I've actually cut mine in black card, and then before letting any of the pieces come away, I've put a self-adhesive sheet underneath it, so it actually looks more like it's engraved. Because I had a self-adhesive sheet underneath it, I've put some ultra-fine glitter through and then added a bit of hairspray lacquer over the top of it so that you've got that sort of fine dusting of gold glitter going over it. I've then added the flower just cut from vellum and added on the little plane with the banner going across the front there. To give you a different idea with this one, because I like to show you how you can cut them down as well, we don't have to use them in their entirety. This time I've trimmed off the base of the die, so you can see I've just got sort of down to here, removing this bottom panel. And what I did this time is, again, I've laid it onto a self-adhesive sheet using one of our dusting brushes. I've gone in, and I've used a dusting brush just because you can get more precise areas. I've gone in and added in the golden sand to infill where the building is. And then I've taken my glitter. So I took the card and I'd already infilled the building, but I knew I wanted to create sort of a radiance of sky here. So I took the periwinkle and I just took that over the top part, that way, sorry. Tip that over, let the periwinkle infill the base part. Then I took the vintage violet and sprinkled that just across this top part. And then to top it off, I took the midnight sparkle and went just across that top sort of 3/4 of an inch area. Then, because we're using a glitter that's got quite large particles to it, I took an ultra fine gold glitter and put that over the top. Because it's such fine particles, they'll go in and infill the difference in between these larger particles. So you've got that sort of golden finish in there as well. So real simple, but hopefully quite effective way to bring your glitters together to make what I feel looks a little bit like a mosaic-y style background, as if you've really zoomed in and got those sort of mosaic tiles in there, creating a beautiful effect. And then to finish off this set, our last die, let's show you the last one in the list. We have got for you our decorative tag duo. So this one, again, we've got 4 dies in here, and I'm just bringing this one to share with you. But what that means is both of these designs have got separate outside edges to their filigree panels. So you can use that, you can cut that just into your cardstock. The middle will fall away and create that open oval. You, of course, will have all this cut-in detail work, but that would stay in your cardstock. If you wish to cut it out, then you can use the outside edge to remove it, and just like the other dies we've been talking about, you can of course cut that in a different colour and place that underneath it if you wish to. And you've got 2 versions of those, 2 different sizes as such, to give you that sort of option on how you wish to use them. I think you could easily use these to make some incredible backgrounds as well, but for mine I wanted to keep it simple. So I've just used the skyline building we was just looking at in the last die. I've added on the panel down the front here and stamped one of my stamps actually into the opening here. And then in the background behind our lovely skyline building, you're also going to see the Art Deco Rhapsody embossing folder used. And then I've just put some grosgrain ribbon, again one of my favourites, around the edge here just to tie in that black. Then for our last one, and I mentioned this earlier when we was looking at this set of dies, this is a great one to pop the car on as well. So this time I've added the car onto the front there, just foam padded that on, but just because at the bottom, more of the eleganza gems underneath, and of course our embossing folder using the Art Deco arches to just finish that background off. And I love these Art Deco ones, working with just sort of creams, whites, blacks, golds, silvers. I think those sort of tones really work nicely. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea on what you could be creating with these dies. So of course, if you wish to go for your bundle is going to bring you all of the dies we've just been looking at and going through. There is 11 different dies here to tempt you with, and your bundle should be $122.89, and your offer price is just $97.99. Now I know that's a considerable sum of money, but actually when you look at how much metal you're receiving and how many dies, you know, we say 11 sets, but actually when we start looking at, there's 4 dies in this one, 5 with that one, 10 with that one, 12 of this one, you know, it quickly adds up to an awful lot of individual components. So there's an awful lot here for you to be playing with for your $97.99. Don't forget your glitters as well. Those, of course, are going to be an essential when we come to play with these, and you're going to be able to purchase those with 15% off. You've, of course, got your gems as well, also with 15% off. So a great time to stock up on those too. And then on top of that, you've got your embossing folder bundle as well. So you might wish to add that one into your collection too. And that, of course, is just $18.99 for all three of them. So many options on today's video for you to be adding to your crafty stash. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that's given you a bit of inspiration on what you could be creating with all of these incredible products. Now, don't forget, if you would like to get your hands on any of these, pop onto the website www.craftmaniacrafts.com, and then on there you will find the little YouTube tab. If you're on a desktop, it will be on the menu that runs across the middle of the screen. If you're on a mobile device, it will have a little click menu that will drop down. Find the YouTube one, head on through to there, and then click the little picture of the Art Deco bundle. That will take you through to a page, and it will have on there, of course, the incredible bundle we've been looking at today. It will have all of the eleganza gems we've been looking at, the embossing folders, and all of the glitter bits, as well as the first Art Deco collection, which featured, again, some lovely backgrounds and some borders and different elements that you might like to add into your basket as well. Now, don't forget your P&P is capped at just £10 if you wish to shop with us internationally, and your UK P&P is free anytime you spend over £5. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you do go for any of the goodies, or you've purchased anything from Craftmania previously, and you would like to share with us what you've been creating, I would love to see it. And so would the rest of our group. We have a private group on our Facebook page that you can enter and become a member to. And in there you get exclusive offers, you get to see what's going on, we get competitions, there's all sorts going on. I get to share quite a bit of my sort of inside work that I'm up to, and we also get you to share all of the creations that you're making too, to help inspire us and everybody else. So do have a little look on our group, and you can find that on Facebook. Just go to the search bar and click on or type in Create with Craftmania and Jamie Rodgers, and it will appear. Answer the questions, and please don't forget to tick that you've agreed to the rules, and then we will accept you as a member. It's completely free, but it just gives you a space to ask us questions, interact with us, and see what we're up to, and most importantly, share with us what you've been creating too. I hope to see you in there soon. Thanks so much again for watching today's video, and I look forward to seeing you all again shortly with another brand new video. Bye for now.